You're trying to figure out how to get started wholesaling real estate 2024. Well, you're in the right spot. We're going to talk about all things getting started wholesaling real estate today. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to go through and talk about different people that we've helped get started, different tips and tricks on how you can get started, and what's going on in real estate right now with us. So stay tuned. Go ahead and let us know if you're coming into the live, who you are and where you're coming from. So let's go. What's going on, Cordero, man? It's a Monday. If to me it feels like I'm in the middle of the week because there's so much
Yeah,
craziness going on.
yeah, it
Um,
definitely feels like
you
that.
know, Ali Ali missed his flight, but Cordero they got a fresh cut for the new week. We started our
Called it.
first deal
I
guarantee.
called it.
You know, Cordero got with it. He said, "Man, this first deal guarantee is you know how when you have a game on a Friday, like when you're in high school, you had a game, you go
Yeah,
get that fresh cut, you gotta go get that fresh cut because you about to have a pep rally. You about to, you got a game. You like, man, I want that fresh cut. So Cordero really got fresh cut. It's game time. He ready
I
to
want
go, man.
I want everybody to go back and watch the Tie Friday, last Friday, where I explained to Byron how I'm just gonna line myself up with the edgers, and Byron's gonna believe it's a fresh cut. So that's how you know what I'm saying. There's progress. There was a time I literally got a cut under my eye. If you ever see me in person, you'll notice it's a cut under my eye from shaving because I didn't know what I was doing. Somebody told me you got to start up here, come down from the cheek, take the hair off the cheek, and I cut myself. Now you get to the point where you can line yourself up so good that Byron think you got a fresh cut every time. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to this. It's levels to this. But it definitely feels like the middle of the week. And today is the first day, I guess the first technically live day of our program. We got all of our guys onboarded. Um, and the leads are rolling in. I mean, the leads are rolling in. We got to get that, whoever that other guy is, you got to get him to send his leads to me too. But the leads are rolling in.
Yeah,
We got a couple of
yeah.
them that the day is not over. But we got a couple of them that I think some that need to be disputed. Some that are listed. Several of them was like listed, mobile homes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But that's all a part of the game. That's why we say get 20 leads. As they start to roll in, it's only a matter of time. I mean, it's only a matter of time. So I'm excited. I certainly am excited. I did have to get lined up for that, I guess. You know what I mean? To get this started, dude. But we still working on some of the deals we got, some of the hurdles we got to jump over, hoops we got to jump through. That's kind of the name of the game. But this is a rule, a principle. Whether you're wholesaling, whether you're flipping, whether you're a real estate agent, you're a real estate broker, affiliate broker, whether you own a lemonade stand, taking care of business does not take precedence over generating new business. That means the first and primary, number one, most important thing is generating new business, new leads, new customers. So whether you're cold calling, whether you're buying leads, whether you're texting, whether you're networking, going out knocking on doors for your business, you need to make that primary. First things first, at the top of the day, how are we going to generate new business and new leads? And so with the PPL service, one of the best things is it takes a lot of that mental space of an entrepreneur, of an investor. It takes a lot of that and it just puts it on autopilot. They do the marketing. They do all of the, hey, how do we get our campaigns to run right? How do we get our Google AdWords and our SEO, search engine optimization, perfect to generate new leads? They generate the leads, they send them in for us. And so it takes a lot of that off the table. Um, so that way you can just focus on talking to the leads, what are they called? Converting the leads into closed deals, into closed transaction. But Byron, you talk a lot about that. Being someone who's done cold calling, cold texting, and numerous other marketing channels, and you talk a lot about how this kind of takes a lot of the a lot of the heavy lifting. How would you explain that or define that compared to some things you've done in the past that PPL does that?
I would say like when you have something like PPL, PPC, I guess Facebook, whatever it
Yeah.
is, it's, that just goes. You know what I'm saying? You really it takes a lot of the, you know, it takes the whole dynamic out of wholesaling. You know, the marketing, prospecting out of it, basically, right? You might have to adjust. You might have to every now and then I go in there, but most for the most part, I set it and dang near forget it, right? I set my stuff up the way I want it, and that's pretty much it, you know. And the leads just come in, boom, 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 boom. And the only thing I'm doing is chasing the lead and trying to convert. Chasing the lead, just trying to get the lead on the phone and convert the lead. That's the only thing I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's big. You know what I'm saying? It's just one less thing to think about in your business. Just like some people get the disposition complete, like they just hand it to somebody else and they dispo it. Only thing they focus on is acquisition, just locking up and getting it to somebody else. But I just think that, man, you know what I'm saying? PPL, it does that. Lead just comes to your phone, boom, call them immediately. You know what I'm saying? So I really like that. I felt it today, the first day of the 90-day challenge, man, and I'm like, man, lead comes on the phone, boom, hit it. You know what I'm saying? So man, I'm excited. I got what we got. I got a appointment tomorrow on the lead I got from Chicago.
First day. First
Yeah,
day.
dude. Yeah. A lead I got in Chicago. Boom. Got an appointment tomorrow. I actually connected with this dude named Cam Oliver. If you don't, I think his name Oliver. Cam something on Instagram. Most of y'all probably know him. He's a young dude, white guy, curly hair, be cold calling people live, Cordero style. He ain't clean as Cordero, but he be on there. But yeah, he be doing some stuff. I think he's probably like 20 or something like that. I was gonna have him on the show, but what happened is like we kept missing each other, and then next thing you know, Cam blew up. Like Cam blew up. You know what I'm saying? He became like a superstar on TikTok and IG and everywhere else. So we never did connect. But then when I got this lead, I reached out to him and hit me back. And he gonna go try to check. He got some buyers. So I told the guy we could do about 300,000, right? The Zillow was like 454.
Yeah.
I said, you know, he was kind of asking for a number. He really didn't want to say nothing. So I like, dude, let's say we come in around 300,000. You think that's something that you probably could do? And he said, you probably done got this a couple of times, Cordero. When can you come look at it?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So we're gonna go look at it and see if we can make a deal out of it, man. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
Why
I think
just lock 'em up?
do what that.
Why you ain't just lock them up right there?
The reason I didn't just lock them up right there is because I didn't have no idea of what could be done on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know if it was an actual deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's another reason I didn't lock it up. I didn't want to lock it up and be like, well, that's you know, when we was going nationwide and you know, I don't know, I was stupid. But when I led you astray going nationwide and you know, trying to lock stuff up and can't get a buyer, and then you know, even at like when I first started off wholesaling, locking people up and not being able to get a buyer, I'm like, man, I gotta stick to like what I like to do. And what I like to do is make sure I got something in place, you know, some exit that I know this is how I'm exiting. You know what I'm saying? And that way I'm more solid with my offer. I hate they even had to throw out 300 to begin with, you know, because I couldn't. just because I looked at the Zillow and just went way below. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, Zillow 450. I'm like, man, I got to go way below the Zillow. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I was doing my numbers, and I think I ended up at like 360 something, 350. But I was like, man, I can run my numbers, but you know, what if they buying it for way less? So that's why, man, I just went way lower.
Yeah, and I asked you that because I just wanted to point out two kind of important things. I think we have this thing, if we see something and based upon our numbers, you get the seller to agree to it. You might ask, or you might hear somebody just be like, lock them up. And that sounds cool to say. That sounds cool, but every situation might call for different things. Right? The idea is if you get a seller at a certain price, lock them up. Don't do. There's no. I'm just saying there's a rhyme and reason to it, but there's no like do it this one way every single time. Sometimes it calls for something different. Now, ideally, you want to have a system or process by which you do things. And again, like we spoke about a couple lives ago, if you set your intentions to do it a certain way, like go through a certain system, like maybe, for example, telling the seller, hey, before we come see your property, we don't want to come see your property without having any skin in the game. But that's only if you feel 1000% confident in lock it at that price point and locking them up at that point. So when you do that, you can set your intentions that, hey, we're going to get people locked up before we go on walkthroughs. That way we secure our time and investment in the property, right? However, I asked that question because that's a prime example. Sometimes it might be better to get the buyer out there, especially if you've looked at the spread or the margin on the deal and you like, this might be talking about something. You need to get them in a range. Now, if it said 450 and the seller was talking about 425, maybe we don't need to send a buyer out there. Maybe we don't even need to waste our time at all. You know what I mean? But $150,000 off of the Zestimate, off of what you might anticipate homes are selling for in that area, let's see if we can get the buyer out there. That's just something to consider because I know when we come on here, we can explain like the grand, like, you know, like the bigger picture, but there are minute details in the process from point A to point B, from B to C, C to D, so on and so forth, that probably get glazed over. And every time we get a seller to agree to a number, we would like to just go ahead and get them locked up, lock them up right now. But sometimes, you know, it's like it's a little bit, there's a couple of hurdles you got to jump over just to secure. Like, for example, I got a property right now I got from probate in Atlanta, or I can't remember where I got it. I can't remember. My VA brought it to me, but it's in Atlanta. It's in Byron calls it the hood, but you know, I know better. I know that this property
I know Atlanta.
I know that this property is in a let me how you say it, an up and coming reformed. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. They changed ever since the YSL Rico. This whole part of town, they changed. OJ the Juice Man not over there no more. You know what I mean? He ain't been over there in a while. Gucci Man certainly not over there no more.
Gucci Man went to high school right around the corner from that
I
property.
know. And OJ the Juice Man, Ludacris baby. You know what I mean? Right off Ludacris. But I'm looking like, okay, we didn't get somebody to go look at. We got a pretty cool discount on the property. The house right next door sold for like 220, 225. You know what I'm saying? The lady asking 100. Maybe it's worth getting a buyer over.
Hey, I talked to the actual person who flipped that property next door.
Okay.
So, like I said, he wants some pictures. So I'm getting somebody to go over there to take some pictures. You know, go ahead.
But I was gonna say, just as far as like, okay, it would be nice to go ahead and get that lady locked up. But those were a couple of variables we were working with: the area, the location, knowing it is right. And then this particular seller, she's pretty busy. And I'm trying to go ahead and say, hey, let's get on the phone, let's talk about it. But she's like, just send me over the contract. And I'll review it and I'll get back to you. It's just like you know what I'm saying. I want to go over it with you. I want to be able to have a chance to get you on the phone. So that's just not something. I'm not really with the sending out the contract. So kind of get tell her, look, this is what I tell them. Hey, it's company policy that we go over the purchase agreement with you, because she could take that contract and go shop it out to somebody else. There was a season
around with it.
What'd you say?
Or just sit around with it or forget it. You know what I'm saying? It's
I mean, yeah, just sit around with it or forget it. But that's not as worse as her making up her mind she's gonna sell and then taking my contract at this price and then taking it to somebody else. Say, hey, look, I got a contract for this price. He says, like, hold on, we ain't even talking about this for real yet. And then she get it at 105. You know what I'm saying? Now we've got this situation. It's like,
though, I think that's you doing that completely eliminated a whole element of just sitting around waiting to see if somebody signed.
I remember those
days. Yeah, exactly, dude. I remember those days just sitting around. Oh, they looked at it. Did they sign? Nope, not no more, man. Hey, we call them up. We set it all up. Boom. On the call with them. Go over it. And I think it's dang near 100%.
Dang near.
At least got to be 90, but dang near 100% of the time we get them under contract. We on the phone with them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the rate is crazy because, again, there's a saying that we have when it comes to giving an offer. If you have a seller, before I make the offer, there's a couple preliminary things in that conversation that I want to make sure we go over, right? And one of them, are you the decision maker? Are you the only decision maker? You know what I mean? If there are other people, are you going to be like, okay, well, my cousin owns it with me. I got to talk to him after I give the offer. Let's make sure that you're ready to go, that all the decision makers are present while we talk about the offer. If we can come to an agreement on the purchase of the property, is there any reason why we couldn't go ahead and get started today, Mr. Seller, Miss Seller? Because that tells me if we can come to an agreement, can we go ahead and get the process started today? Are they ready to commit right now if we can come to an agreement? Yes? Okay, Mr. Seller. How soon are you looking to close? And a couple other variables, but you get those things out of the way. Then you make the offer. Never commit to a seller who's not ready to commit to you. So never make the offer to a seller who's already planning. As soon as, no matter what he tell me, I'm going to go pretend like I got to go talk to my wife. Dude, if your wife is an integral part of the process of the decision-making process, let's get your wife on the phone with us, whether we three-way call or we wait till she get off work to have her here, right? We're not going to play this game. I'm trying to get something done today, not play a game with you today. I'm trying to get something done. So never commit. If they don't want to do all of that, if they tell you, yeah, my wife, I got to talk to my brother. Okay, I can give you a range, but I can't tell you an actual price. Likewise, I take that a step further. With the purchase agreement, don't commit to a seller that's not really ready to commit to you. We don't send out purchase agreements until you're ready to sign them, until it's a conversation of signing them. Because then if I send out a purchase agreement, she can say, well, what's this right here? Well, what's that right there? It's just like, hey, it's company policy that when I send over the purchase agreement, I go over everything with you line by line. I need to know that you're ready. And we don't just send out purchase agreements to have them floating in the ether. We're trying to get something done. And if you got a problem that you want us to solve, I want to be able to solve it for you. You know what I mean? So that's something to consider heavily. And never commit to a seller that's not ready to commit to you.
Yeah. And not even just saying, oh, I'm ready to sign. Send it on over to me. No, dude.
Yeah.
We have to set an appointment for us to get on the phone for you to sign. We're on here for you to sign. We're not on here for nothing else.
Yeah.
This call is for you to read the agreement and sign the agreement. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So, yeah, man. So, shoot, that doing it that way changed everything. You know what I'm saying?
You got to get some level of commitment from them that this is something that they acknowledge is something that they want to do. They're ready to do. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Like, Otherwise, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, like if you get, and this is true at all levels of the acquisition process. This is true at all levels of just negotiating and working. It's just like, never let somebody tell you, oh yeah, just send it, I'll get to it when I get to it. Never. Like, for example, if a seller says, if you're just cold calling or prospecting, or even if you are talking to a PPL lead, the first question I ask them, Mr. Seller, I'm talking about 123 Main Street. You are looking to sell that property at this time. Is that correct? That's a very important question. That's a bomb of a question that you ask them, because off the rip, it establishes an agreement. We're not talking just because you want to offer. Because there's two types of sellers really that come in: sellers that want to sell and sellers that just wanted to offer. They're just curious what their house is worth. Right. And so they will use you instead of going the right way and buying an appraisal. They thinking, okay, I can just know in the back of my head. They keep it in their back pocket. Like I said, they just want to know what their house is worth so they can take it to the barbecue and be like, well, my house is worth $350 because Cordero said it was worth $350. No. Or Byron gave me an offer, said $350. So my house is worth, in his mind, he's calculating his net worth and what. No. If you want to do that, Mr. Seller, you should go get an appraisal. Go pay for an official appraisal. But I'm telling you what we'll pay for it. And then you kind of setting yourself up for failure dealing with those type of sellers and just going into that conversation when they're not ready to commit to you anyway. So don't even have a conversation with a seller who's not ready to commit. Mr. Seller, you are wanting to sell that property at this time. Is that correct? The first question I asked you, let's get that out the way. Then you go through the conversation, then you're setting them up to ask, so Mr. Seller, you want to do this, you want to do that. Are all the decision makers? So that way, when I make the offer, I know that this is somebody who can actually execute on it. But yeah, definitely. But we shall see, dude. I hope we do get somebody to go grab some pictures of it. But I'm saying, like, it's in a nice neighborhood. Byron, you should just roll over there. It's not too far away. Well, Byron lives on the. Let me tell you what this is. Byron lives legitimately on the antithesis, the very opposite side of this when it comes to Atlanta. He lived on the opposite side. He's far away. You go over here, they got old Monte Carlos. They got I'm talking about Impalas and Cutlasses. You go to Byron part of town, they got cyber trucks, Lamborghini trucks. I'm talking Dualies.
Stop, man.
Let's keep it real.
Man,
Richie
stop.
Rich.
Stop. Get out of here,
Richie
man.
Rich.
Rich, let's get to some of these comments, man. Michael Oliver coming in from Greenville, South Carolina. Man, it's a lot of stuff shaking up there, man. It seems like it's a lot of deals to be had. Rich, what's up, Rich? Rich says, you guys don't have mine for property leads either. Yes, send that over, man. He said, gotcha. I was just saying we didn't let mine up for properties, only the ones from Leaders. Oh yeah, we need to link that up though. I think properties got I think properties limit you though. I think you're gonna have like two numbers, and two
and
something like that. They limit you. I think so.
Well,
the CEO, Mr.
Hey, I'm an all money in CEO, which means that getting money is the life I chose. What's going on, Jay?
Jay, what's up, man?
Yeah. You see, we getting into Phil. We get into it at a regular time today. Phil, tell us how you like it.
There you go, man. There you go. So funny story, y'all. I've been driving my mama car to work, but I only have my permit. What? So I'm finally taking my 5-hour course again right now to retake my driver's test. What in the world? I've been trying to get that bread. Dude, are you kidding me? This dude got his first deal before he got a driver's license.
Yeah, man.
Dude, you gotta be kidding me. I have failed to come parallel parking twice.
Hey, Don't even worry about it, Jay. Just come to the South to get your driver's license. Around here in the South, all you got to do is know how to turn the car on. You get your license. You get your driver's license right there. As soon as you turn that key or press the button, they'll give you your driver's license, man. No parallel parking needed.
That's crazy. So, hey, Richard, um, so you called them and they just said, no, they ain't interested in selling their property. I don't know if I had that one. Well,
I've had that. I've had that a couple times.
Their
No,
property
we've had that.
confirmed to be theirs.
Yes, that's happened several times.
I don't think they have.
That's happened with some of your leads, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I haven't been on the phone with them because I would have been like, "Did you submit this?"
Now, this is a very important thing too, Rich. Did you get this from property leads or need to sell my house fast?
Property
but
leads.
Either way, dispute it. Either way, dispute it. And if they're gonna tell you no, whatever. Need to sell my house fast, be acting like you can only dispute so many before they have a problem. Huh?
Exactly.
It's like legit.
Y'all sending me that y'all terrible at sending me leads, so I gotta be punished.
That's like if you go to a restaurant and they mess up your order and they're like, nah, you didn't complain about us messing up your order like too many times, bro. Get out of here. It's like you keep messing the order up.
Hey, if we messed it up again, you can't bring it back.
What? Psycho. I would definitely say, especially if it's property leads, I would go ahead and submit it. Just let them know. What I like to do, and I showed Jay this earlier, is if they do stuff like that, try to get it in text if you can. If you can. So, for example, we were blowing this guy up earlier. He finally texted Jay and was just like, wrong contact information. And I was like, okay, from here, I need you to text him back just to be sure. Say, hey, just to make sure I understand you correctly, I was calling to speak to Steve Smith at the property 123 Main Street. You're saying this is the wrong contact information? And then that person responded back and said, right, this is the wrong information. Screenshot that because now you got the phone number right there, the phone number that was submitted. You got the conversation of this person. Hey, like you're verifying it. Send that screenshot off. And if they don't allow you to dispute it, they are the jerks. And that was for Need to Sell My House Fast. So we'll see how that goes. But
yeah, I think I've done something like that before where it wasn't a person. I was on the phone with them and I was like, hey, I'm going to shoot you a text. I need you to respond. Just so I can screenshot it and send it to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, I would tell him something slick like, yeah, I'm going to shoot you a text. And if you respond and say no, then we can take it out of the system and make sure nobody call you about this again. They'd be like, okay, got you.
For sure. CEO Michael Oliver said 864. I guess that's Greenville area, man. CEO, man got 18 wheelers before getting his license.
CEO, did you get your 18 wheeler, dude? Did you already get it? I know you was talking about it before. CEO, he's going to get an 18 wheeler by the end of this year. The way he be hitting us upside the head with it.
I try to speed limit every time. I try to best believe. Okay, I don't care how good you drive. You should have already had your license. You 21 years old. 30 years old. Finna be 20 or something like that.
Yeah, I think he about to be 21. That's why I try. Yeah, you get rich and get locked up for not having your license. You rich, it won't matter. But even Byron got his license, but he was getting stalked earlier. Hey guys, I made it.
Woo!
You know. Yeah, we caught that for sure, Caritha. But I'm glad that y'all said something because I've been begging Byron, please, sir, can you please? I got to get up, go to school in the morning, and I've been working 3 jobs. He said, man, I don't care about none of that. He said, you gonna do these lives late? I said, yes, sir. And
then, hey, when the Pope and the president tell you to do something,
yeah,
you just do it, man. You know what I'm saying? The Pope and the president, man, you just go ahead and just say, okay, Mr. Pope, Miss President, I got you. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
I've
man.
been I've been summoned.
Yeah, man. But we got Caretha off in here. Caretha was dropping absolute gems. When you get Caretha and Keith on, you know what I mean? You really get you really get a lot of stuff. And so I'm going to share a tip that we got in the group. I'm going to share a tip. I know nobody want me to do this. I'm doing this on my own will, y'all. Let me think. I'm going to share a tip. Look, if you can optimize all of the stuff that we're talking about, from PPL to cold calling to texting, you can take the ones that we use and use them. But if you can do the same thing and optimize it and do it better, then do it better. That's one thing that we learned from Caretha. She took the PPL, she tried it out, she tried Need to Sell My House Fast. I think anybody here in the comment section will tell you, Caretha, you should have went for property leads first, or just, we all agree unanimously that Need to Sell My House Fast is trash, but we still use it because they, you know, you can still get a deal. So fair enough. But what Caretha taught us was that that's not the only way. You can optimize these things. Like, I've been like cold calling, and I've been using some of the main dialers that get marketed a lot. But is that the best one? So when you reach out, like Richard asked me, hey, what cold calling system do you use, and what text message system do you guys use? And I explained, these are the ones that we use. I use Batch. Byron uses Smarter Contacts to text. But is that the best one? I don't know. Caretha showed me one. I gotta get it. I saved it, and I got to do an interview with them. Um, but she can include it here in the chat if she can. But Caretha showed me one, and I'm like, wow, this one is far more. Is a cold calling platform that allows you to receive the inbound text messages. Again, it's just Caretha thinking straightforward. Uh, Kitty, but Caretha thinking straightforward. How do I optimize it? She didn't say let me not cold call because it isn't working. Uh, that's what it is. Kixie, something with an X in it for sure. But how do I make this more efficient? The best thing that she taught me was using Kixie is that when you cold call people, sometimes they text you back and say, hey, can't talk right now. But this one allows you to cold call and text from one platform that you're able to respond. Hey, I was just reaching out about this property on Main Street. Are you interested in selling? Whereas before, with the one I've been using for years, I don't have that access. So therefore, those leads just get thrown away. So again, optimizing, being more efficient with everything that you do is going to be powerful. So you don't just have to use PPL, or excuse me, you don't just have to use the PPL services that we talk about. Maybe you might find one that's hitting, talking about something, and you put us on. That's the thing. Caretha always putting us on to something. Even if she's like, I got the idea from you. You got it from me, huh? Or you got it from us, huh? And then, but she, you know what I'm saying? She done flipped it. So keep that in mind. That's a tip that we got from the call. Keep that in mind.
Dude, man, Caretha and Keithon came through, man. I thought my computer gonna blow up.
Yeah,
Dude, man, all that firepower at the same time. I'm like,
that's rare. That's rare. That's a rare occurrence. We get both of them. We get one or the other.
yeah, dude, you get both of them, man. They got so much firepower, man. It's just the level of the both of them are students of the game. You know what I'm saying? They students of the game. They love the game. They loyal to the game. They true to the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, they love this, you know, and they deep in it. So it's like, man, they didn't watch. So, dude, I couldn't imagine the amount of videos and the amount of learning that Caretha and Keithon have done like together. It's like, it's got to be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, you get those two people together, man. They telling you all this different stuff and showing you different stuff. Man, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. So
yeah, 1,000%. That's a major thing, because they can consume some of the same content that I consume, read the same book, and they get different stuff out of it or more stuff out of it. And so that's another thing that you'll notice by some about some of the best people, some of the people who do the best in this industry. But I'm thinking this is something that's like ubiquitous, like whether we're talking about stocks, whether we're talking about wholesaling, whether we're talking about Again, the lemonade stand. You got to be a student of the game, and the best of the best are students of the game. Meaning that these are the people who's gonna go the extra mile to do the research. Okay, I like the concept of PPL, but where can I go to find the best PPL? And I'm not just gonna do the one that's everybody talking about. Just because, and I'm not gonna not do the one that everybody's talking about, but I need to know which one is the best one. That comes from being a student of the game, and just constantly educating yourself. Like you said, watching videos, reading books, but also joining courses,
Yep. Yep.
And joining into those programs and connecting with the right people. I'm sure, like if we pull up who they actually know, you know what I mean, and they can reach out to. You know what I mean? So like that's something to consider. Is what
Yeah.
That's a direct correlation to the success that they have in their business. Is what they know and who they know. Karitha and Keith both.
Yeah. They bought so many courses, you know what I'm saying? Got a part of so many people's mastermind groups, all of this stuff, man. So yeah, man, keep on. And both of them always supported me. Like Caritha was trying to get on my team before she even got started. You know what I'm saying? Somehow she found me. Somehow she found me on YouTube or Instagram. She reached out to me. She emailed me. She been a professional since day one. Got an email. I don't even know how she got my email. She emailed me and was like, dude, the email, I was like, oh my God. What she was talking about in the emails, I was doing deals. She wasn't doing deals. But what she was asking me in the email was like high level. Like she must have been watching tons of videos already because she was talking dang near above my head and I was doing deals. You know what I'm saying? I was a beginner, but I was doing deals, and she was still throwing stuff over my head. And she had signature on her email, a logo already created, company motto. She she had all kind of stuff, man. Little quote out there at the bottom. It's like, dude, she had it put together, and I was like, you look like a business. I don't. So that's what I was like, look, do this. You're gonna do great. You don't need to work for me. You are going to do great. Go do your thing. Go out here and you're gonna do great. And she went out and killed it. You know what I'm saying? She went out and killed it.
100%. And that just goes to show that honestly, your education is the foundation. You know what I mean? Like a house. And this is something that I'm big on. This is just a principle of life, not even just business. The foundation of a thing determines what you can and can't do on it. Like Byron got a huge house. I think it's like, I don't know, it's like massive. It's got 7,000 rooms in it. Wait, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, like 8,000 toilets. You know what I mean? But my point is Byron has a large house. But the foundation that his house is built on, it can hold his house, but you can't put a skyscraper on it. Right? And the foundation that you put a skyscraper on, you probably can't put a hospital on that. It's like the foundation of a thing, how deep you dug down, how strong you made it, the width, the breadth of it, and the length of it, all of that determines what you can and can't do on it. Likewise, in life, in business, the foundation of this is going to be your education, what you know about it. Because we run into a lot of people, maybe like Smooth, we run into a lot of, and I don't know, by the way, because I've seen you on here a couple times before, Smooth, but people who they just found out about wholesaling, they watched one TikTok video and said, I want to make some money to change my life, and I want to go into it. And that's fine because you can do that. But then there are people like Byron who studied it subconsciously or just out of like having like a somewhat of a passion or curiosity about it for 8 years. And then you start to build on that foundation and start to take action on top of an 8-year foundation. You can go up, you know what I mean, as soon as you start taking action. So your education is your foundation, but one thing is important is you got to constantly be growing it and re-strengthening it. There are things that I knew before that I forgot that are very important principles in this business, right? You see what I'm saying? Like there are things like that's why we always say go back and read the 10X rule again, because you'll forget to readily take action. You'll forget, don't think, just do it. You'll forget how to always, all of the principles of a 10X person. You can forget that. And that's an important part of your foundation. But that's like something that's got weak. Maybe I need to go there and reestablish that structure in my game plan. But your knowledge and your understanding of this is your foundation. So that's a good question.
Yeah.
What would y'all do with 5K budget? It's like we can tell you what to do, but it's just like, how much do you know and what don't you know? Like, how many gaps are there?
Yeah.
Like, because Jay got a crazy, saying, I like his response. He said, me personally, I'm dumping 5K in PPL after the next deal closed. Me personally, right? I feel that, Jay. But what if somebody if they at a point where they're like, what's PPL? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't tell them to do that. Or, take it away.
Like I've said from it was weeks ago we did this live, man, and we was talking about what's the best way for a beginner to get started. Me and Cordero disagreed, but I still think, man, I don't think the marketing is one thing that could change. You know what I'm saying? I think you could pick different forms of marketing, but I think one of the best forms of marketing is people raising their hand and reaching out to you. You know what I'm saying? You're way more likely to buy something when you are the one that's reaching out to somebody and calling them and say, hey, do y'all sell? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we sell that. Oh yeah, I'm coming to get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're reaching out, when you're looking to get something, a product or food or anything from a store or restaurant, wherever, and they say they got it, you're way more likely to buy than them text your phone. Hey, we got a hot deal at Papa John's, or hey, we got, new watches at, whatever, Fossil or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're way more likely when you're the one reaching out. So I think any form of inbound, and Carita was talking about last night, it might be some TikTok ads you might do, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, whatever ads, whatever. To get somebody to reach out to you is big. So that's one thing. I think if you can get inbound marketing, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but some form of marketing that makes it come in, right? And you could connect with somebody that is doing deals. Right? Somebody is doing in whatever particular market you want to try, or you just want to go to their market. You might be in California. You want to connect with Cordero. Connect with Cordero. Go to Middle Tennessee. Not physically, but spend your money in Middle Tennessee with Cordero. Run your stuff and connect with him so that he can help guide you, right? It ain't got to be Cordero. It ain't got to be me. Go find somebody, and connect with somebody who's actually doing this business. You know what I'm saying? I'm still doing that right now. Like I told Cordero, I got a deal I got a lead in Chicago, right? What did I do? Man, I'm reaching out to this guy that I know in Chicago that wholesales. I'm trying to reach out and connect with him because he do deals there. I connect with him. I talk to him. My chances of getting this deal off elevated drastically because I'm dealing with somebody who has done a deal in that area, got buyers there, and this is what they do. So I'm just letting you know, man, connecting with people who do this business. You know what I'm saying? We start to see that pattern over and over and over and over and over again. Connect with people everybody who's connected with me, work with me, continue to work with me over time, they got a deal. You know what I'm saying? I can go from my brothers to, coach. He even got a deal. You know what I'm saying? I just go down multiple people who connected with me and just they didn't. Not talking about people who just reached out to me and just went on. We talking about people who actually got marketing started. Said, "Hey, can you work with me on this?" You know what I'm saying? I actually work with them. They got a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got a deal. But another thing is like you got to be 10x, man. You got to be 10x. You got to want it. You know what I'm saying? You just can't, act like you don't care. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to Cordero and he see you don't care. If you don't care, he ain't gonna care. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jaden. Like Jaden hit Cordero up, but I guarantee you, Cordero could tell that Jaden was 10x, like he was over the top about this. You know what I'm saying? He do like, man, that kid all in. He might not know what he's doing, but this dude,
full-fledged, a full-fledged psychopath. I'm telling you, you better be psycho about this. I'm trying to tell you. Like you said, it's just like to partner up, dude. When Jaden bring that energy and that drive, it's just like as long as I'm looking at it like as long as he's got the right direction, it's somebody to fill in the gaps to guide him. Dude, Jaden is like a focused energy. He's a bullet. You know what I'm saying? And so what Byron is saying is all of these little like go here, do this, all of the just like the technical aspect of it, like do this, all of that underpins being on that right mindset, on that 10x PU. You got to have the right mindset, right? And so all of those things are true. But if you go down to his next comment, he's got a very important thing that I want to talk about because people don't talk about this. This is powerful. I've closed 50 plus deals, but I've been in a slump down to my last 20K. Now listen, this is everybody talk about you're only one deal away and you get your first deal and you go on forever. No, that's not true, actually. I'm gonna keep it real if ain't nobody else gonna keep it real with you. You can do 100,000 deals and go through a slump. A lot of people do. Sean Terry even talked about how there was a season where he went through a slump due to market conditions, due to family life, whatever. Ultimately, it's about you. Something that affects you and your mind change, your heart change. And you get out of the 10X and you go into retreat mode or you go into maintain mode or middle class mode or you're not all the way 10X mindset, whatever it is. But the point is, I think it's important to say we've all been in that slump before. And just because you get your first deal, that don't mean that you won't end up here. But it's powerful to understand. I want to point out a couple of things. Is a lot of your development and a lot of your personal growth as an entrepreneur is challenged in this season right here when you go through that slump. A lot of what you know and learn is built and developed in this season right here. We can talk about how things was going when we was doing the Facebook and we was going nationwide. And I'm talking about get 5 deals on the contract and all 5 of them, I got to go back and tell them, hey, we can't close on your property. That was tough. That was real tough. You see what I'm saying? But so much, you don't understand how much was gained in that moment. That's again it's just like if you had a house and it was already built up and I said you got foundation issues. That don't mean you got to tear the whole house down, but you do need to go back up under the house and redo the foundation at the part that it needs fixed at. And that's kind of what these seasons come to do. This is about the longevity and the journey, and this will challenge you. And if you're willing to stay committed, you're already asking the right questions. First of all, you're already asking the right questions and you're in the right place. Because when you get in that slump, 9 times out of 10, that slump is going to isolate you from the whole world. And everything that you need is actually one decision away. A couple of decisions away and a couple of actions away from getting out of that slump and staying narrowly focused. It's the same stuff. Everything that you was doing before the slump to get you them 50 deals, they there. It's all there consistently. Like I said, generating new business, generating leads, and converting those leads. All of that stuff was there. And all you got to do is get back to that. But there's something about slump that you're supposed to be learning. I'm just saying, a lot of people, you watch all of these guys on YouTube. They all talk about like you get here and then you get to a place where like you do your first deal, and then from there on, there will never be another challenge. You could do, and if you do deals, you better not be in a slump. And you got that. No, it happens. But I'm talking about if he
Yeah.
asked the question, I closed 50 plus deals. How do I get out my slump? And you down to his last 20K, you got room. It's just about really fighting your way out of this and really fighting your way out of yourself. It's you. It's not the market. I just want to be clear. I don't know what market you in, Smooth. I cannot remember. But there's deals to be done. There's people who need you to solve their problem and to go add that, bring them that value in the marketplace. You just got to stop whatever's been happening and start to work. And remember, too, a lot of what you do is back pay. Being an entrepreneur, you don't work and then get paid at the end of the week. You work, and then it start coming back to you. So you might have to spend that whole 5K to get a couple things in order and then put a couple months of work in before you start to see it. But as soon as you do it, you will be right there. Like Byron said, it's just that one little shift, that couple degrees of adjustment. It's not a big mystery. It's just a couple degrees of adjustment that you got to do, and you can get out of it. And so you, of all people, being somebody who has the experience, and I think you might be dwelling on things that have changed that you're not, it's like, that's fine. Keep going forward. And remind yourself why you started in the first place. A couple of these things, like, you know to do that. But dude, you don't need 5K. You don't need 5K. Jay, tell him how much money he needs. Drop it in the chat right now to get to his next and his next deal. Tell him. It's not even a full 5K, brother. So think about it. Consider that.
There's one answer. Cordero has told y'all this over and over again on the live. There's one answer to a slump. One answer. What is it, Cordero?
Read the 10X rule.
Massive action is the cure-all. It's the cure-all. It's the cure-all. You know what I'm saying? Massive action is the cure-all. And I don't want to try to use a big word, but I would say this too. Massive action, but you also need connection, man. It's all about people. You don't realize that. Like Grant Cardone talked about, would you rather have $1 million or 1 million contacts? Grant Cardone said, give me the 1 million contacts. You know what I'm saying? And like, I've seen this firsthand. Like, the market shifts on you, right? Market shifts a lot, right? Market shifts, stuff change, things happen. But if you have the right contacts, those right connections, those right relationships, you're going to have the people around you that can direct you, that can give you the guidance. You know, I talk about it all the time. Like, dude, if I got in a slump, I'm calling Caretha. I'm calling Keithon. I'm calling the people that I know is doing deals. And I'm going to find out who's doing deals, what are you doing to get the deals, and I'm going from there. So, you know, I would say figure out who's doing deals, what the heck are they doing to do the deals. Yeah. And Caretha is the pro at this. I'm talking about Caretha is the all-time pro at this. If you're doing deals a certain way, and you know, she's like, hold on, you doing deals this way and that work? I'm finna get a sit down with you. I'm finna get a sit down with you, and I'm finna figure out what you're doing. And like Cordero say, she add the little extra sauce on the top of hers to make it even sweeter. You know what I'm saying? And then when she figured that thing out, boom, she hit that whole 1,000 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the 10X. You see what I'm saying? It's like Jaden. Jaden probably was 10X on cold calling. Just calling, I don't know what list Jaden calling. He calling some list.
No, he wasn't.
No,
before Jay, that's the thing about Jay. I think he was working with somebody else to do cold call. Like before he was 10X, and he found out about this PPL thing. He just had faith and just
Yeah,
went
that's what
in
I'm
on the
saying.
right
So
plan.
my point is that he was doing something else.
Yeah.
He was doing something else before he started any of this. He was doing something else. Whatever it is he was doing. I don't know. I know he was doing something because he was talking to people, doing this, da 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 da, whatever. Right?
We're gonna get Jade on the show, by the way, guys.
But when he finally got connected to some right guidance, plus like it's guidance plus 10x equals success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Correct guidance plus 10x equals success. That's the winning formula. You saying how do you get out of a slump? Correct guidance plus 10x activity levels equals success. That's across the board. You can take that wherever you want to take it. You know what I'm saying? And whatever it is you want to get done, go get the correct guidance from somebody who's doing whatever it is you're trying to do. They got it down. They doing it. Somebody's doing it. They got it down. Get the correct guidance, right? Plus 10x your activity level. Rocket. You're gonna take off. You know what I'm saying? So
and a couple of things that you get from the correct guidance, sit down and look at your activity and see what went wrong. It could be less leads came in, it could be offers, so on and so forth. And by offer, she means on the dispo side. It's just like that's two things you got to be getting. You got to be getting leads and you got to be getting offers for those leads. And that requires you to reach out to the buyers. But there's another thing, there's another element here. Jaden said it, 20 to 2,500 on the PPL thing. Smooth. I was doing cold call and text with VAs, cut off in January, listening to a guru, switch to PPL. Most of my deals came from cold call or text. I'm in Connecticut. Now listen, this is what I was talking about before. PPL work, again, he said connect with the right people. So I don't know what the guru was saying or whatever. It's just like PPL work. There was a learning curve. I mean, we went through that learning curve. That was the whole Facebook situation where we went through that and we learned a lot. But if we'd have stopped there, then we wouldn't be doing the PPL that we're doing today. That's just something to consider. But my point is, too, one of the first things you got to do is get rid of doubt. Because going through a season like that, there's a couple things that's going to be playing off in your mind. Like, dang, it's not possible. The deals ain't out there. When you do that, it's not out there because if I'm hearing what you're saying, Smooth, you switch to PPL, most of your deals was coming from cold call text, and you have VAs. And you down to your last 20K. And you're trying to figure out how to take 5K invested into marketing. That's enough to even, I'm just taking it based upon what he's telling us. That's enough to start up a whole cold call and cold texting campaign with the VAs. You can go get the VAs back, bring them back. You can buy a dialer. And so in my mind, that tells me it's not even just about the technicality or the formality of just going to do it. It's something in your mind. Being in the slump is, first of all, you got to get rid of doubt in yourself. After you take a couple L's, you start to feel like, man, maybe it's not even that it's not possible, is that it's not possible for me. It's like, dang, because I just keep taking L's. I can't win for losing. But you got to remind yourself of what you did before, but also focus on the future and what's to come and what you can do. There's still, not only are there a lot of deals, I firmly believe there's a lot of opportunity that's opening up that's about to just, hit us. But have you tried taking that money, getting your dialer, getting your text message platform, and getting the VAs and buying some leads again? You could do that, but you haven't. And you here talking about a slump. So that tells me it's something deeper than just not knowing what to do. It's more about how you feel about it and taking the next action. Because to even reach out to the right people, you got to have a certain level of confidence in yourself to hit up, hey, Caretha, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jay had a certain wind, a certain charisma about himself to say, hey, Cordero, I'm going to reach out to you. And he reached out to me, and he was so certain. I remember at a point, again, where he had me talking to his stepdad about the process and all of that. And I'm like, you need to be telling him this. But that just goes to show, even he was so certain that he was like, okay, I'm willing to argue against my step pops and willing to go against what he said because he had a certain level of certainty about this. You got to regain that certainty, Smooth, that this is possible for you, that you can do this. Because if you've done 50, come on now, Byron, think about this. He's done 50 plus deals. He's got 20K left, or he's got 5K left to market with. That sounds like somebody who knows exactly what to do. It's something deeper that's stopping you or blocking you. That you got to get over that hurdle. That's the real challenge here. And that's where the real growth is. Because once you get over that, then that opens up the door for a lot of it. But it's getting rid of that doubt, understanding, getting that courage and that charisma about yourself, and then connecting with the right people, and then taking the right action, and then doing that consistently. And that's another thing that Byron talks about a lot. Consistency is life's challenge, right? And so that's what I was talking about when I say it's all back pay. It's just like you can't just buy one PPL lead too. You can't just do it for 1 month. You can't just make a couple cold calls. And it's like you're going to have to start it and be consistent. And then now the machine is up and running again. Now the machine is going again. But you got to do all of that and be willing to be consistent. But in order to get out the slump, I'm assuming some level of, depression or doubt or just a series of losses that you took will put you there. And you got to figure out how to get back on path or back on track. And I think it's about really confronting yourself and saying, like, why did I start this in the first place? Is it possible for me? Ask yourself that, like, in the back of your mind over these past couple months, have you been telling yourself it's possible for me, or have you been playing the victim and telling yourself, oh, man, I just can't, I can't. And that's all you keep hearing in the back of your head. Ask yourself that. And I'm not saying that's true for you, Smooth, but I'm just saying, ask, consider, what is the narrative in the back of your brain that's really been cooking up? Because from what I see, you got everything. You got more advantage than Jay did. Jay came in with working overnight to save up a couple bands to invest in a PPL and really no more than a few YouTube videos to justify his understanding. And he went full speed ahead. You got deals under your belt. You got some bread to invest. I'm like, dude, you got everything you need. So I'm saying it's got to be something that's you in your mind is telling you can't. Stop that. Cut it out. But then after that, come to death row. I mean, we got everything you need.
It's stupid. It's us to cut to death row. You a dog, man. But yeah, hey, with 5K, you can get about 40 leads from property leads. You can get 66 leads for needed somehow fast. Hey, Jade, man, on property leads, you need to go on there and subscribe to. I mean, if you're subscribed to states on needed somehow fast, you need to go subscribe to states on property leads, because that would make it $75 a lead.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, man.
He was subscribed statewide, though. But he was subscribed statewide, and I think I told him not to, or we said, because it was a property he got that was it was that one dude. It was a property, so we were just like,
yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I do remember that.
Maybe
lost my confidence. Took a loss on 2 flips recently, and it messed with me. Dude, you out there flipping, man. You gotta be careful, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people just stick to wholesaling, because you get out there in that flipping world and stuff can go way sideways. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times, man, I wholesale when I could flip, and I flip with caution, with major caution. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I do my flips, and people hear me talking about flips. I am flipping a lot of property, but man, I flip with training wheels on. You know what I'm saying? I got the training wheels on. Man, I'm flipping with some major training wheels, dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, and I make sure I get a deal. It's super steep, bless you. Super steep. It got to be a super sweet deal. If it's not, I'm passing on to somebody else. So
yeah, dude. Byron be putting the padding. I'm talking about the padding in it. He'd be like, I think I can sell it for 150. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I can sell it for 100. I'm like, dang. He said, I I think the rehab cost gonna be 30,000, so we're gonna go ahead and calculate 70,000. I'm like, what? Well, it's crazy you say that, Smooth, and the reason why I knew all of that is because the same thing happened to me. 2 flips right next door to each other in Franklin. This was gonna be my you know what I mean? I partnered with a mentor on it. I brought her the deals, and I was like, man, I got the deals from text messages. This was gonna be the thing. Right in 2022, what Byron calls doomsday. We renovated the properties, did some light touch-ups, then listed them, and it was on the market. Why? Like a couple days after we listed, boom, boom. They hiked up the interest rates, and doomsday happened. And I was able to get my money back. I was able to get my little investment, but I didn't make any money, and it tied up some money that I had in the property, and that just it really it'll take the wind out of you. You know how you get hit in football, and that I don't even know if that's really the wind getting hit out of you, but that's what they say. Oh, it's just the wind out. That feels like my soul in my body. That feel like my, you know what that feel like? Oh,
Try to breathe, I catch your nerve breath out there,
that's exactly what it feel like. And then the thing is, we like because it's business, and you in business, and you really can't you really can't just stop. You really can't stop and catch your breath because that's the name of business. We always got to be getting to the next deal, so you don't really have time to assess and really think about how you feel or catch your breath. You got to keep going. It's just like, dude, you'll lose your charisma. You'll lose your being a lot less charismatic about going into the next venture and doing the next thing and doing the next thing when you took those L's. And that could feel like mentally how you reflect on yourself, like, dang, that's too like. That's why Grant Cardone talks about winning is important. Being successful is important because those, and even racking up those little wins to start to build up that confidence, because you are always keeping, he says, you're always keeping a running tab of the wins and losses in your own mind about your own self. And so when you lose on those 2 flips, that make you think, dang, it's just like, you start to think, dang, I'm a loser. And that's not the case. And so what I would say, another thing that could almost like, this is a more practical thing that could help you get back to that level of confidence, back to that level of like, okay, feeling like I can win, is doing those. First of all, stop measuring the outputs and start measuring the inputs, and say, get back to cold calling and say, okay, I bought my dialer again. I copped some VAs again, or you got back in the dialer. And it's not about how, I spent X amount of hours in the dialer. I got X amount of leads, and start racking up those little wins and going back to the basics and building up your confidence, because every little win is very important. How you feel about yourself is important. Regardless, it's just like you can't be feeling like a loser and also have the power to reach out to Byron and say, hey, let's collab. And you don't feel confident, or to even go 10X or massive action, and you feel like a loser. It's just like, no, you got to get that back. I remember that. I remember after those 2, because 2 flips, I think I had a couple deals under contract, likewise, like everybody else. The buyer canceled on them. I only had a couple of buyers I was working. This is what I really messed up. I only had a couple of buyers that I was working with at that time anyway. But stuff was so good, the buyers was eating. I was just like, dude, I'm going crazy with just these 2-3 buyers that I had. No, that's when I was like, no, first of all, never just work off that many buyers. You need a lot of buyers. You just need to know how to get new buyers. But when that happened, all of my buyers stopped buying. So it was so hard for me to catch my foot and get my breath again. Yeah. I'm like, man, I've taken major L's. I must be no. So get your confidence back, get your head back, and start getting those little wins up under your belt, so that way you can know it's possible for you again.
Yeah, dude, I think all that is big, and not just having buyers or whatever, relationships.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yes.
Relationships. Huge. Because when things start to shift, things start to turn, it's your relationships. There's people that actually care about you, and you actually care about them. They see what's going on with you, and they say, hey, look, man, how about trying this right here? We can, how about going in this direction? Doomsday happened, all my deals fell apart, right? If I didn't have the right relationships, I would have never figured out how to turn and start flipping if I didn't have the right relationship. It was only that led me in that direction. Having the right relationships, the right people around me to direct me. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have relationships with Mark, Caretha, Keithon, Cordero, all these people that have been able to say, hey, look, try this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I help you with that. You know, all these people contributed. You know, I already know. Like I told people from the beginning, you watch me from the beginning, it's like, dude, I'll make videos because if you look at me and see I'm doing this, you ought to know you could do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't talking about nothing. But the people around, like the people that I know, the people that's around me, the people that I can call up and talk to and ask questions to, the people I can call on for help, like I got an all-star lineup. You know what I'm saying? I got an all-star lineup, man. So that's why I say, man, your network, dude, your network and connect. That's why people say, oh, it's easy to find buyers, just going da 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 da, and the buyers just go and do this. I'm like, dude, build relationships with them. Them people got a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Or they got access to a lot of it. They know people that know people that know people that got a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you have them type of relationships, you can call them up. You can talk to them. You can tell them, hey, look, man, all my deals fell apart on what I'm about to do, you know, and they will start talking to you. Hey, look, how about this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, relationships are huge. You need a couple of thousand, you need $10,000, $20,000. Boom. There you go. When you need it. Today, all right, Kadera, $20,000 a day. All right, I send it to you. Boom.
Hey, Byron.
You are
I've been meaning to talk to you, bro.
You are stupid, man.
I'm just, you about
I'm just saying, man.
That's why they say your net worth or your network is your net worth, or vice versa. I think they're interchangeable. But the point is, you've heard it. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I'm here to tell you, I've learned it's both what you know and who you know, because you have to be a valuable asset to your network as well. Yeah, you can't just be a lead. Like Jay couldn't just come, like Byron said, he didn't have as much energy. Like Jay came and I was like, dang, he got more energy in action in his heart to call. Like I'll blow a seller up and I'll blow huff and puff and blow their house down. Jay hit him with that 80 piece. Seriously. You know what I mean? And so you got to be a who to your who's. You got to be an important member.
No doubt.
But that all underpins, getting yourself back in the right headspace. And that's just a battle that you got to deal with. But definitely, your network is going to be so powerful. And I'll be the first to tell you, too, I think I went through a season where I was like, man, that's the whole point. I don't need, because I was working with some partners. And then I stopped working with those partners. I went solo. And that's when I caught wind of, I started watching Byron's videos. And I said, I'm going to show them, I'm going to do everything by myself. I'm going to do everything from top to bottom. And I'm going to prove to the whole world that this is what it means to be great, is being alone. And I was like, as time goes up, nothing good is a one-man show. Nothing of value in this world pointed anything. Imagine if Elon Musk was the only person at Tesla. He putting the cars together. He making the designs. He's delivering them. He's the salesman. He's building the buildings. He's mining all of the raw material himself. No, it doesn't work like that. You need a team. You're going to need people. And that's from all ends. But to Byron's point, you need to talk to leads because those are your deals. You need to talk to buyers because those are your customers, essentially. But you need to network with people because they can be your eyes and ears. They can be your second brain. If two heads are better than one, imagine having a team of 10 people. Imagine what it's like being on one of our Sunday masterminds when Caretha and Keith come in. And we got the CEO dropping bombs. I'm like, dang, CEO that came in there. We got Byron and Ty.
Man, don't mess around that Mark dude.
Oh, dude. Yeah, acting like we don't even, like what he said wasn't even that crazy. And we all be like, dang. People like, I just, you invest here, you make $100,000 there, and you know what I mean. And so getting around people like that, but that's just something to consider. Richard, it's crazy how far faith will take you, and on the flip side, it's crazy how much you could be held back from lack of faith.
Yeah.
That's a very important key. That's what I talk about when being confident, getting rid of doubt. That's why I say entrepreneurship is a faith-based journey. It ain't just business and numbers and do this and do that. You got to believe that it's possible. I mean, to even say, you know what, I'm gonna try my hand at this wholesaling thing. You got to have some sort of level of like, oh, well, I can do it. Some level. Why not me? And faith in yourself, faith in your team, faith in your system, faith in your marketing, and faith so on and so forth. Faith in general. Faith. That's why you got to put on the most important thing is the shield of faith in all that you do. Keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm gonna go live tomorrow.
For sure. Hold on, what do you got?
Byron asking, my bad. Jay asking, I don't know, impossible questions to answer. We don't know.
Let's do it tomorrow, man. Let's try tomorrow at 8. We get on
same time.
We'll jump on tomorrow at 8. Yeah, maybe 8, around 8. But we'll hook up, man. The shoot, we've been on this thing an hour and 16 minutes, man. Sheesh. But man, we finna get off this thing, man. We appreciate y'all for coming through. Finna go ahead and shout y'all people out, man. Ali, appreciate you coming through, man. Our guy Michael Oliver came through all the way from Greenville, South Carolina, man. Rich, the rich of the richest, came through. The CEO, man. The CEO came through. Our guy Philip Banks came through, man. Jay came through, and man, the big dog, Caretha, came through. Appreciate you coming through, Caretha, and Mr. Smooth himself.
GQ Smooth.
Hey, appreciate you coming through, man.
Let me hop on the live after I shake back. Smooth. If you after the next, are you gonna do PPL? Are you gonna go back cold calling? Because I'm a firm believer that either way you're gonna go crazy. Just what you say, Byron. Sometimes it's not what you decide; it's that you decide. It's like making a decision. Any decision is better than no decision. So cold calling, text, whatever. You do it.
What they tell you in football when you're running the football, don't do what?
Don't go backwards.
Be tiptoeing. Yeah, don't run backwards, but don't be tiptoeing. Don't be tiptoeing. Well, when you tiptoeing, you get your butt knocked out. Hey, you gotta boom. You see that hole? You running? You gotta boom hit that hole, man. Can't be tiptoeing. You know what I'm saying? It can't be. I'm just gonna do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of that and get you knocked out. You know what I'm saying? You got to decide where you're going and hit it. You know what I'm saying? That's the big thing, dude. You gotta hit that hole. You gotta hit it. You go back that tip to
cold call, text, and PPL. I would almost venture to say, dude, just focus on one. But okay.
The one thing.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you got 5K, what Jay said, half that. Let's say $2,500, and that's on the safest of the safe sides is $2,500. That could get you 20 leads on property leads. Get the 40 leads.
Oh yeah, 20.
Let them come in on property leads. Let them come in. There will be a deal in those 20. All you got to do is work them like diligently. I don't know what the guru told you. I don't know what you was going through all in the mix of that. If you do,
you got to make sure you turn the bids all the way down.
Matter of fact,
you had it way up at 300, 400 or something, and you just was burning through $400, $300 leads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely. And hit me up, dude. Hit me up. Let me put my ID in. Hit me up, please. Hit Byron.
Earl Martin 615, or you can just type in on IG Mr. 615.
Dude, hit me up on IG, or definitely hit Byron up, hit Caretha up, hit everybody up here that you see, because just about everybody that's involved right now has done a deal of PPL. You know what I mean? But definitely hit. And so if you're going to do the PPL route, use property leads. Buy 20 of them for $2,500. Work those, like let those leads come in, and don't stop until you get every last one of them on the phone. And
Hey.
then there's your deal. We're gonna have you on the live talking about it. Shake back.
Shake back. Yeah, dude. I would say, man, as long as you 10X, I think you're gonna be good, man. But I would choose one thing and go in on it. And hey, Smooth, you're gonna go property leads, man. Use that link, get your $250 credit out the door. That'll cut back $250 off your bill. You talking about $2,500? It'd be $2,250. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Go get you some. Go get you some. He said, "Good told him." I said, "Man, stop. Man, y'all wild, man. But we finna get up out of this thing, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace out."